Hello and welcome back. Hope you're good, doing well. So this is going to be the update on euro dollar. So we are having a very important data is going to be released today on dollar, CPI, and unemployment numbers are going to be released. But before going to look at that, if anyone wants to join us, just simply head to the wave-trader.com. Now let's move on to the calendar. So there we can see that CPI monthly, CPI yearly, and this core CPI monthly and unemployment claims are going to be released. So this is very, very important data. And we may see if numbers are going to surprise to the downside aggressively, okay, then we may see, volatility into the market. So let's look at this. Okay, so the monthly CPI numbers are showing sideways market. Okay, we can sideways movements. Simply the monthly data is noisy and up and down. Just 1 month dropped below zero, and was giving a sign for the disinflation. So that's not telling us a clear picture. Okay, but when we look at the yearly, okay, there we can see that the trend is significantly falling to the downside. So inflation is simply falling. So we had inflation since 2020, okay, and then peaked in late 2022 and then started to fall. So we are at 3 now, okay, and the expectations are that the last month inflation number is going to be at 3.3, but if those numbers are going to drop significantly, let's say going to fall below 3 or coming close to 250, or or if we are going to have a big surprise like falling headline inflation numbers falling below 2, that's going to be a surprise to the market that inflation is falling very, very aggressively to the downside. So also the important numbers are the core. Okay, so core going to be the important. Core is not falling as the headline inflation is falling. So if I'm gonna look at the inflation numbers, all right, the US inflation numbers. So inflation and core inflation. There we got the US inflation. So there we can see that the trend is significantly to the downside. All right, so falling very, very aggressively. So if I'm gonna pull out the projection is this. So the projection is 3.3. That's the projection numbers, right, for this month. So 3.3. So they're expecting that last month we had 3.0, and this month they are expecting that the last month, expecting that inflation has ticked higher. So that's what they are expecting, that the inflation is slightly going to tick higher. So let's say if we're going to have if inflation is going to fall below 250, all right, or 2%. Remember, the 2% is the target. Okay, so the 2% is the Fed target, and inflation is if we are not going to see it tick higher, and if it is going to fall below close to 2% or 250, yeah, then we may see a movement into the market. So this is going to be a surprise to the market that the inflation is dropping significantly to the downside. So these numbers, the headline numbers, may not move the market so aggressively. All right, the important number is going to be the core. All right, the core data. I'm going to look at the core one. These are the core. So core inflation is still way above the Fed target. The target is 2%. There we can see that the target is 2%, and headline number, core inflation is very, very well ahead of the Fed target. Okay, then that's why these numbers are going to be really more important than the headline numbers. Okay, so the core going to be really important. So they are not expecting any change since the last month, right? They're not expecting any change. So if you're going to have really huge drop here on the core CPI, or let's say headlines are not moving, headlines still going 3.3, but core is falling significantly. That's going to be a big move for the market. All right, so we may see strong reaction on the dollar. So if that data is going to be the neutral, all right, or mixed means that data is going to be the same as being projected, all right, then we may not see big movement into the market. So what we can expect from the dollar, all right? So yesterday we were expecting, simply let's look at this in this setup. So we were expecting one more leg lower. If you remember that, we were expecting one more leg lower on the euro dollar, and we got that, but we didn't see all the way up to the lows. If I'm gonna look at this lower time frame, we were expecting this to break down and continue to keep dragging lower. So we got that a sell off, but we didn't see all the way. We price again held these areas and then pushed back. We didn't see price to go all the way up to those areas, those lows. So what we can expect from euro now, as I said, that the inflation story is going to be really important. If we are going to see strong drop, sharp drop in the CPI numbers, as I have just explained that, okay, then the bigger daily picture which we were expecting euro to go back up, all right, then go into that direction. So breakout, and then go all the way and test that top, and then again we will start looking for this to go down. So we may see that move on the euro, okay, like these kind of candles can appear over there, and we can see that move. And as I said, that if inflation is going to slightly pushed higher, all right, or let's say 3.5, or core is not going to fall, yeah, core is also going to tick higher, like these numbers, right? So core is also going to tick higher, let's say 0.4 or something like that, or 3, yeah, I mean green numbers going higher, and headline numbers are also going higher. Then we may see strength on the dollar, another leg lower simply, okay, on the euro dollar. Yeah, so higher inflation numbers simply will enforce the Fed to be more hawkish, all right? And we may have another interest rate hike in September September Fed meeting, right? So that can cause, I mean, dollar can start pricing in for that move. That's why higher, higher inflation numbers can push the dollar higher, okay? And then we may see another leg lower all the way back to this previous low, all right, or these areas. So what you are simply looking for, okay, price already bounced from this area. You are only expecting it to sharp break up, okay? As the sharp breakup comes, then continue to keep pushing more higher. So I wouldn't suggest it to chase that area, okay? If it goes, you already, you're supposed to be into the trade from these areas. So if you're gonna get into this area, you have to be really good on lower time frame to chase that trade. Okay, so what you are watching, in case if you don't see drop if inflation is going to pick up, then simply you are watching price action at this area and this one more leg lower, or all the way back to this low. So we still may see another leg higher. So this is for short term only, okay? But we are expecting a bigger daily correction to break up, as if you remember our previous video analysis, that we're expecting euro to go higher and dollar to go down. So but we can see that the euro went into a sideways market over there, right? And we were expecting small legs lower within that sideways market, at least up to this area, but we haven't got that. So simply on daily time frame we are setting up for that correction to break up. But we still, as I said, we still can see, we cannot rule out, the structure is clearly showing, okay, these arrows are clearly showing that we still can see another leg lower. All right, we cannot rule out that one more leg lower. So you need to watch price action over there at this area very closely to trade on the euro after the CPI numbers. Okay, there you can see that. So if we see that the inflation is going to pick up, then you're watching nice sell-off over there, and this one more drop all the way back to that low. Numbers are going to drop sharply, then simply break out, correct, and continue to keep pushing more higher all the way back to that daily highs. Okay, thank you.